Hello and welcome to Mitv News at 6 a.m. Teresa at DME. Ahead of the 2023 general election, concerned stakeholders have stressed the need to address the security challenges in the northern part of Nigeria towards achieving peaceful elections in the region. The National Commissioner, Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), Abdullahi Zuru, made the Northern Press Conference on the 2023 general election in Abuja. Zuru, lamenting about the recent attacks on political parties and INEC offices, stated that the insecurity ravaging the north poses a serious threat to the 2023 general elections. It therefore stressed the need to effectively tackle the threat. Also, the spokesman of Northern Elders Forum, Akim Baba Ahmed, also expressed worries over the incessant attacks on political convoys and political campaign rallies, stating that they have the capacity to derail the 2023 elections. It therefore called for a swift apprehension of the election violence perpetrators as well as their prosecution.
Coming from the north, we worry a lot. We worry about the possibility that the space may not be available for every northerner to exercise his right to vote. We worry about the increasing influence of violence in the lives of communities and individuals. And we worry about whether the efforts of the government will be sufficient to push aside insecurity in such a way that we can actually have our people come out to vote. We have worked very, very hard to convince Nigerians, angry as they are, to vote in 2023. We have made the case that because your house leaks doesn't mean you have to demolish it. We fixed the leak.
There were allegations of attacks and disruption of political party activities across the country by all the parties. Obviously, this will poison the electoral environment and cause elections to be held under volatile and high-risk political and social contexts. Consequently, providing the enabling peaceful environment where an electorate will exercise his or her right to vote or to stand for election voluntarily will be a major challenge for INEC and other relevant stakeholders.
I'm asking the media, don't miss.
And it's time for us to denounce electoral violence and get ready to perform the all-important civic duty of voting. We must ensure that 2023 elections are peaceful, free, fair, and credible. The Vote Not Fight campaign is one that I have remained particularly passionate about. Since its launch in 2014, I have been a vocal advocate for peaceful and credible electioneering process and transparent and accountable governance. I read
The presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has reaffirmed his commitment to progressive good governance that will yield dividends for the masses. He made a pledge on Tuesday in Jos Plateau State during the flag of his nationwide presidential campaign. The former Lagos governor assured Nigerians that, unlike other parties either dwelling on a fruitless past or a tomorrow of fantasies, his administration helps to chart the course of progress already started by the Buhari administration. Addressing a large crowd of party faithful and supporters from all over the country, Tinubu said, and I quote, "We hereby reaffirm our commitment to progressive good governance and to the fruits that such governance can bring to this nation." The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, on Tuesday recalled the event leading up to the establishment of the Debt Management Office, otherwise known as DMO, while serving as vice president under the Olusegun Obasanjo administration between 1999 and 2007. Speaking at the 26th Lagos Business School Alumni Conference held in Lagos, Atiku explained that when the PDP was elected into government in 1999, marking the beginning of the Fourth Republic, the party really did not have a policy document. The PDP candidate answered questions on security, climate change, leadership, agriculture, and other key aspects of the Nigerian economy. Speaking on national security, Atiku said insecurity was a concurrent issue and an effective security arrangement would involve all tiers of government. According to him, the security challenges are peculiar to each region and as such requires an all-inclusive approach. The former vice president presented plans on how he intends to solve many of the nation's challenges to the Alumni Association of the Lagos Business School in an event held in Lagos on Tuesday. The LBS Alumni Day teamed The Leadership Imperative is one of the engagement platforms hosting political office seekers to answer questions and share their vision for the country. The Ekiti State House of Assembly has elected a new speaker after the death of the former occupant of the seat, Fuminiyi Afuye. 66-year-old Afuye died at the Ekiti State University Teaching Hospital on October 19 after suffering cardiac arrest. It was a former commissioner of the Ekiti State Ministry of Information and a two-time member of the State Assembly. He was inaugurated Speaker of the 6th Assembly on June 6, 2019. A month after his demise, the Parliament held an election to fill the vacuum. After the successful election, which was held on Tuesday, Gboyega Aribishogun emerged as the new speaker. Aribishogun, who is the representative of Ikole 1 constituency in the Assembly and a two-term lawmaker, polled 15 votes to defeat Olubumi Adelugba of Emure constituency, who polled 10 votes. Aribi was sworn in as speaker by the clerk of the House, Tola Esho, following his victory. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB has announced the automation of curriculum accreditation, admission, and general administration matters between the board, tertiary institution, and their regulatory agencies through its interactive e-brochure and e-syllabus system. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Olayede will disclose this at a meeting with regulatory agency and tertiary institutions from the north and southern regions of JAMB. Headquarters Buhari said from the 4th January 2023, the board will not receive any letter from any institution or agency except through IBES. Correspondent Miriam Enakimon reports that Oloyede noted that IBES will ensure seamless communication between JAMB institutions and their regulatory agencies without the use of letter writing as the practice has been. It further stated that the automation of curriculum accreditation and general administration matters among JAMB, regulatory agencies and institutions will provide personalized services to the institutions and agencies as only JAMB and the institution will be able to see any communication on the platform. Also speaking, the Executive Secretary of National Universities Commission, NUC, Professor Abubakar Rashid, said in the last 6 years, JAMB has built a strong relationship with regulatory agencies and institutions of higher learning in the country. Rashid expressed belief that the cordial relationship has yielded many mutual benefits, including the setting up of the platforms.
From the first day of January 2023, JAMB will not receive any communication from any of the agencies or any institution except through this platform. And we have made the platform easy, and we pay for the platform. We pay everything. We bear the total cost of of the communication. It helps us because it allows us to focus on more fundamental issues because these are automated. For instance, as your letter comes, as I'm seeing it as the registrar, the director of admission is also seeing it. And if he needs my approval, he demands for my approval, I approve on the platform, and it goes on.
It is important that we all accept that communication as a tool for an organization's development can never be overemphasized given its many propelling benefits. The introduction of IBAS, IBAS, and CAPS has revolutionized the records and admission process in Nigeria. Actually, JAMB is setting the pace. It has already set the pace, but it's setting the pace in education and in all government agencies in terms of the ease of doing business. It is very clear that this present communication upgrade will enhance the efficiency and smooth operations of JAMB's processes. providing an exceptional feature that links all our regulatory agencies on one hand and the institutions on the other hand to communicate and as well ensure a paperless system.
On his part, the Executive Secretary of National Board for Technical Education, NBT, Professor Idris Mohamed Bugaje, said the introduction of IBIS and CAPS was the way to go as the nation requires digitization of all its communication. Bugaje decried the failure of some polytechnic rectors to embrace digitization, adding that the board will soon commence digitization of all this process, including accreditation in all polytechnics nationwide. The Executive Secretary of National Commission for Colleges of Education, NCCA, Professor Paulinos Chijioke Okwewele, noted that the platform would make admission process seamless. Okwewele commended the JAMB registrar on the many initiatives taken to reduce delay and improve efficiency, adding that the IBIS will address challenges and improve efficiency in the admission process.
So I would like to once again give the commitment of the MBTE to this project. This is the way to go. Nigeria must go digital. Not only the educational system, the entire governance must go paperless, because that's the trend. That is the, this is this new knowledge century. That's what it's all about. And this change, we must support it. We must, join it. I mean, I'm talking to my rectors. We must buy into it, because this change will be the only constant at this time. I therefore wish to thank the registrar and all the other dignitaries, and we look forward to the
It is my belief that the IBAS and the already upgraded system and the CABA system too will address challenges on admission process and simplify the process that everyone in the tertiary education system will be proud of. The decision to brief heads of institutions, registrars, director academic planning, academic programs, and desk officers regularly to understand the system is highly commendable.
Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Ogun State on Monday revealed the command made a seizure of 3.587 tons of dried cannabis sativa in Ogere, Remo area of Ogun State. Addressing newsmen at the command's headquarters in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, NDLEA commander in Ogun State, Aki Abia Ibinebo, said the cannabis sativa were found in a warehouse that was used for storage purposes. While reiterating a commitment in the fight against drug abuse in Ogun State, she said 2 coppers were arrested in connection with the seizure. On his part, the special advisor in Ogun State Governor on Security, Olushola Suberi, said the government will continue to support security agencies in the state towards achieving remarkable feats. And that's all we have for you from the local scene. We go on a quick break to bring you a report from the foreign scene. Please stay with us. This is Mitv News at 6. Now to foreign stories. Russia has attacked the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv, damaging residential buildings close to the city center. In what appears to be a nationwide attack, strikes were also reported in Mykolaiv, Chernihiv, and Zaporizhzhia, among other places. In Kyiv, 2 residential buildings in the Petek district were hit, according to Mayor Vitaly Klitschko. World leaders are currently at a meeting of the G20 in Indonesia, where they have condemned the war on Ukraine. Several Russian missiles were successfully shot down in Kyiv and rescue teams are in place, Mr. Klitschko said. An air raid alert is in place. Vitaly Kim, the mayor of Mykolaiv, claimed Russian missiles had been launched in 3 waves. In Chernihiv, Governor Vyacheslav Chaus warned people to take shelter, saying the missile strike is continuing. Crowds of residents in southern China's industrial metropolis, Guangzhou, have escaped the compulsory lockdown and clashed with police as anger at strict coronavirus caps boiled over. Dramatic footage shows some overturning a police vehicle and tearing down COVID control barriers. Riot teams have now been deployed in the area. It follows Gongwa's worst COVID outbreak since the pandemic began. Amid bad economic figures, China's zero COVID policy is under enormous strain. Tensions have been building in the city's Haizu district, which is under stay-at-home orders. The area is home to many poorer, itinerant laborers. They have complained of not being paid if they are unable to turn up for work, and of food shortages and skyrocketing prices while living under COVID control measures. For several nights, they had been tussling with the white-clad COVID prevention enforcement officials, and then overnight on Monday, the anger suddenly exploded onto the street of Guangzhou with a mass act of defiance. Iran on Tuesday strongly criticized and threatened to respond to new European Union sanctions, targeting it over a crackdown on protest. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Nasser Kanani said in a statement, by which their dependence on sanctions, the Europeans lose all rationality and seriousness. He added that Iran would respond effectively and forcefully to Europe's unconstructive actions. On Monday, the European Union announced further sanctions on Iran in response to the crackdown on protests backed by the death in custody of Mahsa Amini on September 16. The visa bans and asset freezes applied to 29 Iranian officials, including the country's interior minister, along with 3 institutions. Among those organizations was Iran's state-owned broadcaster Press TV, accused by the EU of screening forced confessions of detainees. The list of European Union sanctions against Iran has reached 126 people and 11 institutions. And up next is Sports Stories. Please stay with us.
We don't die for where we did, oh yeah. Now so promise and fail, oh yeah. And it don't take, we don't wait. PDP don't come again. Jando malole shake, Alama tell you. Jando for governor. Jando under PDP. Jando 2023. Jando Alama tell you. Jando for governor. Jando for Lagos. Jando for everybody, yeah. Jando Jafeku, fight for Lagos, Jafeku. Jando Jafeku, fight for Lagos, Jafeku.
Ẹ dìbò fún Dr. Abdulaziz Ọlájídé Adédìran Jandor fún ipò gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú Ọlọ́mbrẹ́là PDP power to the.
Welcome back now to Sports Stories. Cristiano Ronaldo is always happy on international duty, despite his problems at club level. Portugal teammate João Mario has insisted. Ronaldo's outburst against Manchester United, who he has accused of betraying him, have threatened to overshadow Portugal's World Cup preparations, but Benfica midfielder Mario said the saga will not affect the national team. Ronaldo's awkward-looking handshake with club and country colleague Bruno Fernandes on Monday sparked rumors of a rift between the pair. Former world number 1 Novak Djokovic will be granted a visa to play in the 2023 Australian Open, local media reports said Tuesday, despite his deportation from the country ahead of this year's tournament in January. The Australian government had decided to grant the unvaccinated Serb a visa for the Grand Slam contest, overturning a 3-year ban after his ejection from the country, said national broadcaster and other domestic media. Australia Immigration Ministry and Tennis Australia were asked by AFP to comment on the report. This year's championship was overshadowed by 9-time Australian Open champion Djokovic being put on a plane on the eve of the contest after a high-stakes legal battle over his visa status. Djokovic's 3-year ban can be overturned at the discretion of Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's centre-left government, which is different to the Conservative coalition in power when it was kicked out. And that's it on MRTV News at 6. Join us again tonight on our primetime news at 9:30 p.m. I am Teresa Adeyemi. Do enjoy the rest of our programs. Good evening.